Good morning, everyone. This is Lisa Lashendro. I am one of the annuity sales directors here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I also have Carl here, another annuity sales director. You may have received the invite from him or possibly Nicole, but him and I are going to partner up on this webinar this morning. I'm going to go over some fun facts about IAMS. I see some names here that I do not recognize. So if this is your first webinar with us here at IAMS, welcome. I'd love to have you. For those, I see some names here that I know we're already working with. So for those of you already working with us here at IAMS, this is a nice refresher of all the opportunities that you have, resources that you have partnering with the IAMS family, and we'll get started with that. I also have our guest speaker, Nate Self. He is going to be going over the goods of this product and how the income works and how it's competitive and all that good stuff. So, Nate, say hi to everybody.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely. So, for the use of time, so I can give Nate the floor sooner than later, I'm going to go ahead and go over some fun facts about partnering with IAMS. So one of the goals that we have at IAMS is we want to work with producers that are interested in growing their business. So if you're growing your business, we're growing our business, and everybody wins. And we do that with a lot of different resources, programs, new producer bonus programs, marketing reimbursement programs, things. And we have a full staff here in-house that can help you achieve all of those things. So let's get started and go over that. Right out of the gate, when you contract with IAMS, we have our new producer builders program. Now, as you can see, depending on what level you get to, but in the first 6 months that you're contracted, whether you hit 100,000 level in premium or up to $1 million, or we won't stop you at $1 million. If you want to go more than that, please do. But these are just some ideas of some of the things that we give back to you to help you build that business or manage your business so that you can continue to do business in a productive level, and know that we think outside the box. So we have an entire team, a creative team, back office team, your sales director, that can help you put together a plan and hitting those business goals that you're looking to hit. So these are just ideas so you have an idea of what those different levels might mean to you. If you have any questions on this and you just recently got contracted, don't hesitate to call the office, ask for your marketer, or anyone here would be happy to assist you with those questions. I don't know about you, but I think there's no better compliment than having a referral sent over to you. Well, we love those as well here at IAMS as much as you do, but we want to show you our appreciation, knowing that we wouldn't have that connection or have that relationship without you. So we're going to give you a producer bonus. So a one-time $50 bonus when that referral agent contracts with us, and then we don't stop there. We're going to give you an override that comes out of our pocket. Steve Murray is going to write you a check every quarter for the type of business that referred agent provides to IAMS. So that, again, is not being shaved off of your referred agent. That is a check coming out of Steve Murray's pocket, going into yours, because he wants to show you that appreciation. If you have questions on this at all, questions on starting maybe your own agency and taking an override, we can literally customize this however you want. So if you have questions on starting an agency, having a hierarchy, or any of that, just let your sales director, marketer know, and we'll be happy to put something together for you. The back office support. I can tell you that all of my agents working with us praises our folks in the back office because we make your lives so much easier. We do this by doing your case design. We follow up on the applications. We literally help you from A to Z so that you can do what you do best and be in front of people. That's what we want you to do. So we provide you with quoting. We'll do all your quoting for you. We'll help you put marketing plans together. We'll do case design for you. We'll help you with the applications. We'll help you with brochures. I mean, name it, we can help you with it. The goal here for our back office support and what we are really known for on our service level is just that. We want you to be out there having activity, talking to people so that you can grow your business. That's our ultimate goal. If you have any questions on ways that we can help you with your back office support, don't hesitate to let us know, because where there's a will, there's a way, and we're happy to try to make anything we can work for you. Speaking of support, I encourage all of you, if you haven't already saved this to your browser, to go on to our IAMS website. It's www.iamsinc.com. Here you're going to have a plethora of information and resources right at your fingertips. So let's say you're meeting with somebody and it's late at night and you need to fill out an application or need a form. We have our forms library. Let's say you want to do a illustration or see who has the highest, most competitive income rate. You can go on to our quoting tools, our illustration tools. Maybe you're just looking for sales pieces or concept pages. Go to our sales resource library. It's got presentations there. I mean, really, anything you could possibly need to help you run your business is on this website. So if you have questions, any of us marketers are absolutely happy to give you a tutorial or kind of show you around on the site to see what might benefit you the most. You just let us know. On our website, we have one of the best e-application resources out there, which is Firelight. And Firelight, we have a majority of all our core carriers, as well as a lot of different miscellaneous carriers. Gillico is on there. So, and I think Nate can agree that when you're submitting an app electronically, that it makes the process so much easier, not only for you, but for the client as well. It really does have an impact on preventing errors, getting things approved quicker, getting things issued quicker, getting your commission quicker. So I don't know, Nate, do you have any comments that you would like to add on e-applications?
Yeah, just being a millennial myself, it'd be the preferred way if I were a client, how to, do business. It reduces NIGOs to less than 1% because it actually doesn't let you submit an application unless 100% of the required fields are completed. So that's probably the number one benefit, is it streamlines everything and it makes sure that you have everything done that you need to have done. And that just creates a better client experience. So I would say definitely the best way to submit business, and we're happy that we're on the platform.
Perfect. I appreciate that feedback. I just think it's better to hear from the horse's mouth, the carrier's point of view, as well as our point of view and the client's point of view. So if you ever have any questions, your staff here at IAMS, we're happy. We do this all the time. We'll walk you through and stay on the phone with you and help you with your first few apps, or maybe you need continuous help. That's fine. That's what we're here for. That's part of that back office support I was talking about. So don't hesitate whatsoever to ask us to help you with that. That's what we're here for. Speaking of our back office, I mentioned earlier that we have some of the most talented people in the industry on our creative side. We have our creative marketing solutions, our creative team. These guys can do anything from revamping a logo, creating a logo, building a website from scratch, maybe just improving your website, e-marketing. I mean, name it, we can do it. So um, don't hesitate to ask us if there's something that you're looking for. We could always do a marketing analysis for you as well. That is a great tool that we have here at IAMS. Part of your partnership with us here is we'll take a deep dive into your business, your goals, what you're currently doing, what's not working, what is working, and we'll take that back to our creative team, and they'll put together a real nice um, marketing plan for you that's organized and nicely put together. So if you're interested in any of that, just holler at your marketer and let us know. Also, as part of your partnership in doing business with IAMS, we will provide you with access to Retirement Analyzer. This is a software that's developed for agents to be able to put together nice proposals for their clients. It's got nice charts. It's a nice way for you to do a annual review. There is a cost associated to this that IAMS takes care of for you. We just require that there's revenue coming in, that there's premium coming in, and we'll slap this on top of the rest of the resources that we already provide for you. So it's just another perk you get with IAMS. Here, I would like to make sure I mention our IAMS Wealth Management team. Now, years and years ago, Steve Murray and Charles Sr., they thought, what more could we really have here at IAMS to be the one-stop shop for all your needs to help your clients with retirement? And so we have our IAMS Wealth Management team that can help you if you are already registered. They'll take care of everything for you, just like we do here on the life and annuity side. Help you with your proposals, help you with the paperwork, all of it from A to Z. I think they even include, managing your website for you. They take care of all the compliance. I mean, all of my agents that are working with them are extremely satisfied. So if you have questions on IAMS Wealth Management, I want to point out two things, and I'm gonna drop a poll here if you want additional information on IAMS Wealth Management, and Duncan can give you a call. But while I'm talking here, I'm going to launch a poll. If you're interested, definitely hit yes. But IAMS Wealth Management can help you whether you're registered or whether you're not registered. So here's the super cool thing: if you're not registered, and I was an agent years ago, before I got my securities license, I had to um, depend on somebody else to help my clients with manage money. And obviously, when I did that, they wanted their piece of the pie for everything else I was writing with them, the life, the annuities, all of it. So, how much revenue did I lose? And they gained, not only did they gain the revenue for the registered pieces, but they took a piece out of my or money out of my pocket for the other lines that I had written. Um, Using IAMS Wealth Management gives you 100% control of your client. So if you have a client that needs to start putting some money in, mutual funds or whatever, and they don't have a need for life or annuities, you can call our IAMS Wealth Management office. Zach over there will take care of you, and he'll help your client with that side. And then you can be rest assured he's not going to touch anything else. Now, the super cool thing about that is that if you do decide to get registered, then IAMS Wealth Management is going to transfer your client back to you. I don't know any other partners out there that would do that. So, super cool. Whether you're registered or not registered, utilize IAMS Wealth Management. They won't let you down. Next, our Life and Annuity Academy. Today's a perfect day to talk about this because we are actually having our Life and Annuity Academy as we speak this week. This is a 2.5 day training. Uh, that provides you with tools and all sorts of different concepts. You're going to be schmoozing with other successful producers in the industry, hearing from some of the best in our industry, and walking away with ideas and concepts to grow your business. That's the goal. The lovely thing about this is that you can leave your wallet at home, take your ID so you can get on the plane, because we are going to take care of all the expenses for you, anywhere from your transportation to and from the airport, to your hotel, food, drinks, entertainment, the sessions, all of it. I think they even have notepads and pens for you. So, if you are interested in learning more about our next academy, obviously this one is too late. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to launch another poll here. There we go. If you are interested in more information on the Academy, then please select yes. And we'll be sure to follow up with a call, get you registration link so that you can hit the next one. I'll just give that a moment. Perfect. Appreciate everybody responding so quickly. Thank you. All right. Everybody loves a nice trip here and there. We want to do that with you as well. Our IAMS trips are so much fun. You really feel that family vibe. So Steve Murray puts together a nice top producer trip, and this one we're actually hitting the deadline. The qualification period is the end of this month, but rest assured we're going to have another trip that we're going to start qualifications here soon. Keep your eye out for those emails and that notification. But here we had it at 4.5 million for points to qualify. This year we're going to the Greenbrier. That's going to be our 2022 Top Producer Summit. If you are on this, I see a couple people already working with IAMS. So if you want to know where you're ranked, or if you want to know where you're at to qualify for this trip, just give the office a call. We're happy to let you know what that number is. And if you have any other questions on our top producer trip summits, obviously we do want to reward you for hitting the 4 million points. But if you are an overachiever and go above and beyond that, then we have another level that we'd like to reward those folks for too. So definitely a way for us to say thank you, a way for us to bond as the IAMS family, being part of the IAMS family, hanging out with other producers that are as successful as you, and just kind of keep that going. So if you have any questions, just let us know. Okay, we're a marketing organization, guys. So obviously we have Facebook and LinkedIn. Here's our Facebook and LinkedIn pages. I welcome you all to get
Hey,
in
Lisa,
there. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but I think the PowerPoint presentation dropped off, so I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wonder what happened. I'm sorry, guys. So anyway, here's our thanks, Nate. Here's our Facebook and LinkedIn. Please definitely go on there, like it, share it. You'll find a lot of helpful tips and concepts, and we try to keep you informed there as well. With that, Nate, I appreciate you giving me the first part of the webinar here, and I'm gonna switch it over to you.
Certainly. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. I learned a lot about all the support and all the fun you can have at IAMS. That looks really, really exciting. And if I were out in the field, that would be definitely an organization I would want to join. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Let me make sure.
I see you.
Yeah, how do I change my screen? Let's try that. It's probably better. There we go. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for having me and for taking time out of your busy summer schedule to join our webinar. I'm delighted you're here. My name is Nate Self with Guarantee Income Life, and today we'll be covering an alternative strategy for the traditional fixed income market amid pressures with rising interest rates. Our goal from our time today is to make sure that you have talking points to drive new business and help your clients protect and enjoy their hard-earned retirement savings. Please feel free to reach out to me. I have my direct contact information on the screen should you have any questions or feedback. Given this is the first time we've given this presentation with IAMS, I would certainly appreciate to make sure that it's valuable to you. Before I kind of jump into it, I just want to thank IAMS for the continued partnership. We've grown our sales year over year for the last 3 years with IAMS, and I can't thank you all enough. So let's jump into it here. We'll be discussing today the bond market history and the current state of where rates are currently at. We'll go through the typical 60-40 balanced portfolio that most financial advisors pitch to their clients and the problem with it in 2022. We'll then jump into a safe money accumulation vehicle solution, and then finish up with a guaranteed income stream to mitigate sequence of withdrawal risk. So over the past 40 years, up until 2020, interest rates have been in steady decline, as you can see on the screen. With yields near all-time lows, the future role of passive fixed income in portfolios has been tested for all investors, especially for retirees and pre-retirees. Over this period, people have invested in bonds, have earned incredible returns, as the 10-year Treasury rate on the chart in 1981 hit over 15%. And in 2020, as you may remember, the 10-year Treasury was below 1% during the initial shock of the pandemic. These great returns have formed a strong mental bias for retirees to want to reallocate a large portion of their portfolios to bonds. However, given the current rate environment, the potential negative impact to retirement distribution plans that carry these large bond allocations is very concerning. Looking to the future, the current view of many investment strategists is that the Federal Reserve has signaled they're ready to employ significant rate hikes and unwind their balance sheet with the ultimate goal of bringing down inflation from 40-year peaks. And as these interest rates rise, the value of clients' bonds crumble. This harsh reality makes education around the current bond market crisis, as well as identifying alternatives to fixed income, critical in the financial planning process. One could claim that the implementation of a bond ladder, when you got these volatile rate variations with different yields and asset classes to mitigate these interest rate fluctuations, would be helpful. Although I personally am not a huge proponent of a laddered bond strategy, it may have made sense when rates were at 8 to 10%. Unfortunately, as of this morning, I looked, the 10-year Treasury was paying 3.28%. The 2-year was paying 3.28. The 10-year was paying 3.41, and the 30-year has crept up to 3.44%. So it wouldn't really make sense to have a bond ladder strategy, knowing that the yield curve is unusually flat, which makes it much more difficult. The key takeaway here with the knowing where bonds have been in the past and where they're going is that rates are still incredibly low compared to history, with the expectation that they're going to go up. Knowing this should make it easier to have a conversation with your clients to alleviate risk with a guaranteed annual payout of 5, 6, or even up to 7.5% from an income annuity. And from a return perspective here in 2022, in only 5 short months, it's been extremely tough for investors, to say the least, as there have been few places to put your assets in equities as well as fixed income. With the consumer price index reaching levels, again, not since 1980s, market expectations have shifted from inflation being a transitory phenomenon to being a dynamic that will require swift action. This has led to sharply higher rates, as we mentioned, as well as the yield curve turning negative, with negative returns across all fixed income sectors. But really, how hard has it been for bond investors this year? On the screen here, you'll see the Bloomberg U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, which is the most common measure of the broad investment grade bond market. Through May 6th was down 10.5%. This is 7% worse than any calendar year decline in history, the worst being 3% in 1994. So it's been incredibly tough for people in debt instruments in 2022. And this leads me into my next point, that traditionally clients think of fixed income investments as having safety and stability in their portfolio. However, as these rates rise, the investments come with risk, and they should know that. And as we discussed earlier, with rates going up, the bond values generally go down, which means trouble for their investments for retirement income. So on the screen here, I'm showing a $100,000 initial investment in a bond market fund, and what the effects on a one-time interest rate increase could be. This is very timely, considering the Federal Reserve announced a 75 basis point increase yesterday. As you can see, the higher the interest rate increase and the longer the duration of those bonds, the more severe the decline of that particular bond. So for the starkest case on this chart, the 30-year Treasury were to rise 30%, $100,000 initial investment would have lost over 40% in value. This is not too far off from what we're currently seeing in the current marketplace. To put in perspective, with recent rates, the 30-year Treasury hit 1.25 on March 2nd in 2020. And just over 2 years later, as of this morning, the 30-year rate was at 3.44%. This is greater than a 2% increase and would have decreased your client's $100,000 investment by over 30% when they thought they were in a safe investment. So don't let increasing rates derail your clients' retirement plans. And as we'll discuss shortly, there are other investment vehicles to help provide principal protection, growth opportunities, and guaranteed income streams to help aid some of these negative effects. Last thing I want to talk about before we jump into the solutions is the issues with the common 60-40 portfolio. I've read countless articles from financial advisors, investment experts arguing for and against this equity and bond 60-40 portfolio allocation. And I personally haven't had a strong opinion either way until recently. One interesting fact that you may not know about the 60-40 portfolio is that it was invented in the 1950s by Vanguard founder John Bogle and has been used for over 70 years without much change. While many advisors and agents have been trained to respect the 60-40 portfolio as a benchmark for their careers, a low and rising interest rate environment means that we need to be more creative, as we're truly living in a new world of investing. So several market factors currently create issues for the 60-40. Number one, low yet rising rates. As we discussed previously, as rates hit like record lows, begin to rise, the value of the bonds in these portfolios, the 40% start to fall. Number two, inflation. Within fixed income, outpacing inflation over the past decade has been relatively easy, but the high valuations of stocks and low yields on bonds means that the next decade will be challenging to protect real after inflation values of these investments. In addition, stocks and bonds tend to be tightly correlated and falling in a high inflationary environment. And last but not least, the tighter monetary policy, as you've all seen in the news here recently. The Fed's aggressive monetary policy tightening has the likelihood of hurting the U.S. economy, with several Wall Street banks warning of increased chances of a recession. The Fed has also already raised rates in 2022 150 basis points with yesterday's 75 BIP increase announcement, and markets could be pricing in nearly 300 basis points in increases until March of 2023. This time could potentially be the steepest tightening cycle since 1994. So definitely important to keep watching the market and watching what the Fed is doing, as it does affect investment portfolios. Given all these factors, the heavier weight in bonds probably does not make sense anymore. The problem forces us to rethink the basic reallocation principles. And an article I read by JP Morgan here recently revealed that allocating just 30% of a client's portfolio to alternatives, such as insurance vehicles, can substantially increase returns while simultaneously strengthening portfolio stability and decreasing their risk. So what could that 30% solution be? That 30% solution, fortunately, there are alternative asset classes like an index annuity that can help your clients through these low and rising interest rates. Here at Gillico, we offer downside protection with investment allocations, as well as an optional income rider to fit all of your client needs. So now let's quickly touch on the details of this alternative strategy, which is our WealthChoice Index Annuity series. We offer a 5, 7, and 10-year version with an elective income rider that can be attached to the 7 and 10-year options. In addition, the 10-year has a 5% optional bonus for clients looking to get a boost on their accumulation value or income. At the end of the presentation, I'll send out a link to access our pre-sale site and our current rates and our marketing material. But to give you a sneak peek on a few of our popular crediting strategies with our increased rates that went into effect June 1st, you'll see all of our cap rates in the 7% range, except for the 6.25% on the 5% bonus product, the 10-year. We also have 120% participation on our Horizon Ascent Index and 37% full participation annually on the S&P on the 7-year product. Some of the other benefits of our WealthChoice series include 10% access to initial premium in the first year, and then 10% of the account value after the first year. We also have a return of premium that's automatically included in the contract. The client has the option to get out of the contract after the 5th year, and they'll get a full premium back at that point when there's no fee or reduction of rates for this feature. So when we look at the WealthChoice in action as an alternative to bonds for clients looking to maximize their safe money accumulation, we can see here on the screen the returns on our WealthChoice 7 with our 7.25% increased cap rate. Well, on the screen, you'll see the best 10 years, the worst 10 years, and the last 10 years over the period of the last 20 years. We can see the last 10 years have been the best with an average of 5.76% in the point-to-point cap. That isn't a major surprise for everyone given the great bull market we've been on. However, the worst 10-year period, including the 2008 financial crisis, we still had an average return of 4.82%, which is significantly higher than what everyone is receiving in the bond market of negative 10.5% here in 2022. While using a strategy tied to the S&P can definitely be a great option for your clients looking to maximize accumulation, really aren't providing a ton of diversification. So we recently added our Horizon Ascend 5% index to our WealthChoice series, which has a 40% correlation to the S&P 500. This can be a great alternative index for clients looking for diversification into multiple asset classes. For those of you who aren't familiar with who Horizon is, they are a highly respected investment strategist who was founded in 1995, and they're based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. They're similar to having an investment manager, but in your indexed annuity. And it's certainly unique in the industry, considering most of the vol control indexes I see are designed by major banks. This Horizon Ascend Index uses investment techniques like broad diversification, trend following, and risk management to maximize their returns. It's pretty similar to having a hedge fund in your index annuity, which is pretty amazing. I'll show you what I mean by that. So the Ascend has 8 different ETFs with 4 different asset classes to offer maximum diversification, and we target a 5% volatility. The index also has daily trading to make sure that we're staying on top of all the changes in the marketplace. The ETFs you see on the screen in the index are some of the most popular US-based indexes, such as the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones. And another benefit is all of these ETFs are total return funds, so your clients will receive the dividends that are included in the ETFs in their performance, which is a major benefit. One feature I personally appreciate is the diversification within the asset classes. Many of the vol control strategies out there look at only treasury notes as their fixed income option. And with rates on the rise, the opportunity to access not only government bonds, but corporate bonds and other various grades and durations is extremely important to giving your clients consistent performance. Lastly, I think having access to a gold investment option could be an optimal asset class, especially this year, to ride out volatility and inflation. So now that we kind of went through the holdings in the index, let's briefly touch on the strategy. The Horizon Ascend uses a moving average signal to decide when to be risk on and when to be risk off. Here on the screen is an example. The index will go risk adverse, meaning more heavy in cash when the market signals indicate a correction. And as markets rebound, the Ascend will allocate back into a heavier equity allocation to capitalize on a recovery. So here are two charts that show what risk on versus risk off looks like. On the left, we have a period of time where volatility was very low in August of 2017. During this time, the Ascend allocated 50% of its portfolio to equities and less than 1% to cash. Because of the low volatility in the marketplace, the Ascend was able to allocate heavy into equities and maximize gains during that time. On the right, March of 2020, everyone remembers the volatility, and the index was risk off. We can see we went heavy into cash and minimized losses as volatility spiked. These two different time periods are a pretty good example of how the index can dynamically trade the positions in all of the 8 ETFs that it offers while still maintaining its target volatility of 5%. So what does all of this mean to your clients exactly? You may be thinking to yourself, the real value of the Horizon Index is the consistency of the returns. By using broad diversification, trend following, and risk mitigation, the Ascend had a rolling 1-year return being positive over 95% of the time, looking back all the way to 2005. To put that in perspective, if you just were invested in the S&P 500 on a rolling 1-year return period, the S&P was only up 83.7% of the time. In the index annuity business, it's often said that zero is a hero, and the Ascend can help you minimize the number of zeros in your clients' returns. We truly believe the Horizon Ascend can be a nice fine pairing for diversification and safety in index annuities, especially in today's bond market. Now let's take a look at another problem facing many retirees these days, which is the sequence of withdrawal risk. Here's an example of Bill and Tom, and they both have the same goal of withdrawing 5% of their portfolio for retirement income. They both invested $500,000 in 100% of the S&P 500 when they retired. They equally withdrew $25,000 or 5% of their initial investment annually for income each year in retirement. On the last bullet point, you'll see their balance would have been 16 short years into retirement. Both Bill and Tom did exact same withdrawal strategy. The only difference was Bill retired 5 years later in 2000 compared to Bill in 1995. Unfortunately, Tom started his withdrawals at an unfortunate time when the S&P pulled back 40% in a 3-year period during the dot-com bubble, and his savings were nearly gone in 16 years. Pretty similar to the negative impact we're seeing in the marketplace right now with the S&P drawing back over 20%. Bill, on the other hand, after 16 years, was in terrific shape as he accumulated his nest egg to over $834,000 with an initial investment of $500,000 while also withdrawing $25,000 annually. I would say the key takeaway here of this example is you, me, nor your clients know when the market's going to go up or when to go down, but we all know that all retirees need to take income. So let's protect them from withdrawing funds from a reduced portfolio in retirement. Here at Gillico, we offer a top alternative for taking income to mitigate this sequence of withdrawal risk. First, for a little bit about our income rider that's available on the 7 to 10 year version. There is a 3-year wait to activate the income rider. However, here in a second, I'll show you how you can take immediate income. The rider has a true low cost of 75 basis points and will not be more than 75 basis points like you'll see with many other annuities in the industry, as we do not use a benefit base or a roll-up amount. So that 75 basis points is going to be flat throughout the contract. And to calculate your client's lifetime income, we simply take their accumulation value times the highest payout factors out there. For example, for a 65-year-old, we're going to have the opportunity for them to take 6.5% annually for the rest of their life without any market risk. Each year, the client defers taking income, the payout factor will go up by 10 basis points. This is a really simple way to remember how much your clients will receive. So an 85-year-old will receive 8.5, an 83-year-old will receive 8.3, and so on. This makes our WealthChoice one of the best options, as it's a really easy way to remember how much a client will receive, and it's really top payouts in the industry. Something else to remind everyone is we do not reduce for joint income cases, and most of the cases that we see come in are joint owned and joint annuitants. So if you have two 65-year-olds, we'll pay here at Gillico for both of their lifetimes until both pass away without any fees. So that's a huge benefit. I'll just quickly touch on one of the points here since we're running a little short on time. The average duration for an annuity to activate an income rider is 3.2 years. And that's kind of why we designed our product to have a 3-year wait to activate the income rider. So I want to finish off the presentation today with a sales concept and marketing piece that we're having a ton of success with, and with IAMS. This illustration shows a 3-year wait to activate our income rider. We're also generating immediate income. The 65-year-old invested $100,000 with our WealthChoice 10 and our 5% bonus. The client was looking to maximize their immediate income. So over the first 3 years, they take penalty-free withdrawals of $59.30, as they can take up to 10%. Then in the 4th year, we activate the income rider using strong payout factors and maintain that same high level of income for life. Now on the screen, you'll see our income now strategy when we use an index, and I chose to use our Horizon Ascent Index since we touched on that today. As you can see in columns for years 1 through 3, we're taking free withdrawals of $57.75 because we're assuming a 0% return. But then in year 4, we see a substantial increase in the client's income because of positive gains received during the first 3 years. This can be a great option for clients that are wanting to take on a little bit more risk to be able to get any boosts to their income payouts in year 4. One thing I would say is when you're looking for client income, especially in earlier years for retirement, we're going to be one of the top income options in the marketplace, especially for clients that want to take joint income. This last marketing piece I can send out to everyone. This is probably our top piece when you're meeting with a client. Just really shows the simplicity and the high payout factors that we can offer. The real important thing is if a client's taking income in an annuity is to get their money out as quickly as possible and to generate the high payouts so that they can mitigate some of these inflationary pressures. So today we discussed the current state of the bond market and some of the history over the past 40 years. We went through some of the issues facing a 60-40 portfolio. We talked about the safe money accumulation vehicle with our top caps and the Horizon Ascent Index. And we finish it off going through our income now story to mitigate sequence of withdrawal risk. I just want to thank everyone for joining Lisa and myself today, and I'll follow up with our information on our WealthChoice more in detail with a client-friendly flyer to discuss the rise of rates, and I'll open up to the floor with any questions.
All right, everybody. Lisa had to jump on the phone to help another agent, which is kind of what we do here. But I am going to launch one last poll question. Please fill that out and answer as soon as you can. I want to thank Nate for an excellent presentation on how we can help our clients in the current environment we find ourselves in. I can attest that this is a great product to help clients, and a lot of advisors are having success. Looks like we have answered that question. I appreciate, Nate, I appreciate your time today and all the producers that joined us. If you need any more help on this or have questions, please call your sales directors here at IAMS, and we'll be more than happy to help out. Thank you, everyone. We're going to go ahead and end it now. Thank you.
Thank you.